grade level today, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at PLC culture, some themes of PLC as it relates to your contents overall, and as it relates to 7th grade. You will not be able to see grade level 6 and 7, but I will share those more than likely via a mix of some sort. That'll be shared with you, but today we'll focus on specifically just your content areas and 7th and 7th grade. All right, we're good to go. All right, so first of all, let's talk about our normal thing. If you would, as far as it relates to norms, if you would, simply only having your browser Nearpod. So if everyone would do that right now and pull up Nearpod, and the code that you will use is displayed here on the board. So once you put in the code in Nearpod, you'll see the first title slide. And I'll give you a few seconds to get that rolling. So Ms. Kane, right now, everyone's just getting Nearpod up, and the code is displayed on the board. If you have any trouble, if the partner beside you can't help you out, just let me know. Most of you are familiar with Nearpod. The code is not case sensitive, it'll pick it up. All right, so today will not be self-paced. Today will not be self-paced. You're gonna move as I move. With that being said, I would like to start with a couple introductions. In the back, as you can see, I am a part of Metro Reese's. I lead the leadership certification program. So I know some people think I'm not going to be doing his work for him. You're not. I do all the leg work. I just need your participation to gather the data and do the research for our PLC culture. But in the back here, we have my candidate support is Ms. Jean Hickman in the back. Ms. Capers is here, of course. Everybody knows wonderful Ms. Capers. Dr. Botnight is my mentor throughout the program this year, and everybody knows Ms. Mosley. And in the back, I have to give a quick shout out to Mr. Clay. Been absolutely incredible in providing support and helping put all this together as well. So make sure that we're moving. Okay, we're good. I see your screen. All right, so we're looking at PLC culture at Bear Creek Middle School, and ultimately with our PLCs, it's about you. It's really about the people, which is right down my alley because I have a vested interest in people. And I've also spoken with Ms. Capers on several occasions. I also have an interest in data and how we make decisions based upon that. So I've done some research, it's short term, I've done some research to find out some themes related to each content and each grade level as it relates to your PLC. Now, please understand that what you see here is simply based off of the responses that I got from everyone in the building. And I would like to thank you for your participation. We had about 59, 60 responses to the surveys and things of that nature, so I do appreciate that. So with no further ado, we'll go ahead and get rolling. We're gonna make some predictions if you would, you'll see on your table tiny URL references. Please do not move ahead with the tiny URL. Okay, I'll let you know when to go to each one and what to do. Those are just in case, once you get to the document, we'll go to a literature review, and then it has some hyperlinks. In the event that the hyperlink does not work, which is not a problem, you'll just simply type in the appropriate tiny URL. All right. If you have any questions as you go along, please feel free to comment. It's not a problem. All right. So if you would, the first prediction: predict the most common theme related to PLC culture. I have shared it, so once you submit your response, you should see the answers populate as you respond. So it seems that overall, for the most common theme related to PLC culture is collaboration. And collaboration is one of the biggest themes and most important aspects of PLC and culture of PLC. The collaboration, what are you doing with each other in your content team? And as you see as we go along, it's a lot that you have going on in your PLC and your content PLC. Whether you acknowledge those things or not, some of them are positive, some of them are negative to a degree, some of them outline. There are some outliers. Please understand that some things will not just fall directly in line, because they are outliers. But what we have been able to identify is the things that make your PLCs either effective or ineffective, or efficient or inefficient. Okay, and the ultimate goal of all of this is to make necessary corrections, keep the things that are going well, the things that are not going so well, have professional conversations about those, and we'll get those corrected. All right, so we'll move to the next prediction. Predict the most common theme related to 7th grade PLC culture. So when you're answering, make sure that you think across this broad spectrum as it relates to 7th grade. It's not just your content. It's the entire grade level and all 4 content. So everyone should have had an opportunity to respond. The most common thing that you all predict is support. Now, support, as I did the research, support could be a couple of different things. Support could be admin support, which was the main thing, was admin support. So I see people kind of getting brightened up when they see admin support. So admin support was a big common theme. Next, you predicted collaboration, which is consistent with the first one. Relationships. People, once we get into seeing the graphs and the data, you're going to see that there are some dynamic people and personalities within your content PLCs as it relates to relationships. All right, the next prediction. Predict the most common theme related to greatest negative impact on PLC efficiency and effectiveness. right, so remember the predictions as you make them. As we go along, make sure you kind of just take a mental note. If you like to jot down some things, that's fine as always. But you did know that time is the greatest negative impact on PLC efficiency and effectiveness. Now with time, I'll be quite honest with you. Once I got into looking at it and kind of analyzing, there's a lot of different factors of time. It could be positive use of time. Some people in some contents across grade levels, they actually use time very efficiently. Off the top of my head, if I remember correctly, I think math is pretty efficient with time, which makes sense with math people, I would assume, that they're efficient with time. They're a little more strategic. Next is consistency. Consistency is a big factor. How well do we do the things that we're supposed to do? And not only that, how consistent do we do? Expectations, how consistently do we do the things that we need to do? The next one, predict the most common theme related to greatest negative impact on 7th grade efficiency and effectiveness. So what do you think that should be? Okay, all right. Now for 7th grade specific, the last one was overall. This one is 7th grade. So think across the grade level for 7th grade for efficiency and effectiveness. So once again, time. And you're going to see that time is going to be a very common theme across contents and grade level. So keep that in mind. All right, our next prediction: predict the most common theme related to greatest positive impact on PLC, just as a whole, efficiency and effectiveness. Once we get to talking about how I came up with the themes, you'll be able to see that there's really no cute way to come up with the themes. You have to kind of do it in an old school fashion. All right, so we're choosing from collaboration, relationships, support, and accountability. Once again, you've placed collaboration at the top. Predict the most common theme related to the grade level, the 7th grade, the grade level, specifically, as it relates to the positive impact. And as you can see, we have the same theme. And there's a reason why you see those same themes, and we'll get to that in just a moment. It'll make sense why those are the options. But think about it across the grade level for 7th grade. Okay, so across the board, most of us believe that collaboration, relationships, and support are almost equal. So keep that in mind. Okay, so with our PLC, why do we do them? Why are they important? If you read the introduction, I believe that in any successful organization, collaboration and embracing the ideas and perspectives of others are essential to effectiveness. I think that kind of shows itself in your last answer about relationships and how important people are to this overall equation. So we have to be transparent when we're talking about these human factors, and you have to be able to have some thick skin to a certain degree to actually be able to have the conversation about it. And ultimately, in our profession, in this setting, it's imperative because the effect that all of these things have on our most valuable